Welcome to Big Red Leads. I'm Big Red, getting you and your business back to the black. Today, I want to talk about something that is all connected in your career, your life, um, obviously business, but it has more to do with the other side of all these things that we do as adults. And they have a tendency to get left behind if you are not paying attention to your own surroundings and your own situations. If you weren't raised with these particular things, um, understand you are going to be compromising yourself in so many ways that it's doing nothing but hurting you and the person or people that love you, and possibly hurting them as well. So, we're talking about principles and morals. Now, I'm not the moral police, but you do know right from wrong as an adult. At the same time, if you are a man, understand my brothers who get it, they get it. And the fellas who don't, let's just say this isn't a wake up call, but I'm sounding the alarm because you're starting to affect those of us who've moved in a certain way in our life to the point where it's affecting the people who are around us. If you do not have a set of principles that you actually live by, if you don't have a set of principles for yourself, you are compromising yourself to women who are compromised. Now understand that that is not the way that I hope you weren't raised. A lot of young men today are running around with no principles, no moral backing to help them in their decision making process when it comes to relationships, business, their job, just life in general. So why would you be sitting up here worried about or concerned about the only thing that you're really out here seeking is really money and sex? Understand that you are putting yourself in a position that is totally a losing situation all the way around, especially if you don't have any principles to back you up and carry you through the difficult times, something that you are willing to stand on. Now, understand the goal and the objective in life is to be in flow. Everything should flow naturally. It doesn't mean that difficulties and challenges and obstacles are not going to come your way. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is if you have a principle that you stand on, that you believe in, and you are not willing to compromise on this, you are not going to compromise yourself nor your integrity. So, a pretty face. There's an old song. I think it's BBD, maybe BBD. Um, Song Poison. Some people like the song, some people don't like the song. But if you actually listen to the lyrics, it's talking about the very thing we're talking about. Do not get swayed by Big Button Smile. If she is taking, and I'm not blaming the women on this, you have to own your shit, fellas. Own your shit. Own it. You have to own it. Guess what? It's all you. It's your fault. Even if it ain't your fault, it's your fault. Do not put yourself in a situation where you are compromising who you are just to have sex. And if a woman is basically using sex to get you to do things that are out of your character, that are out of pocket for you, and you are rolling with this, she is just as toxic as you are. And I hate even using the word toxic because they attach toxic to men who just so happen to be masculine. A man who's moving in his purpose, moving with actual purpose in his life, is actually a man of principle, a man of honor, a man who's not willing to compromise his integrity for a piece of change or some ass. Now, saying that, Understand where I'm coming from. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. But you're putting other people in situations they don't need to be in because you're not willing to take the responsibility of your own actions. We're not talking about you pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. None of that political rhetoric bullshit. I'm not talking about any of that. I'm talking about you being responsible for what you do. And are you compromising yourself and the people around you because you are willing to bend and fold for some money? I'm getting to the bag. Get the fuck out of here. It's cake shit. If you ain't got a little hustle about you, regardless whether you work a job or you do have a business, if you don't have a little hustle about you, it's already in you. Because you can work on that. You can get better at that. But all money ain't good money. And a big button, a smile, is not going to get you the things that you truly want. We've talked about this before. Understand this, and I'm saying this with love, and this is an adult conversation. So if you're an adult, understand where I'm going with this. I don't think young people should be watching porn. I don't think anybody should be watching porn, to tell you the truth. I've watched porn, but I'm not attached to it. I'd say in the past several years I haven't even watched porn. Now I thought about porn, wasn't worried about it. But understand where I'm taking this conversation. If you are a young man, I've heard some very strong principled things that I wish that I could have implemented before I started engaging in sex as a young man. That, I've heard older men tell me, like, you should have at least $5,000 to $10,000 in the bank before you even engage in going out on dates with a woman. That's one way. That's just one principle, one thing that I've heard older men stand on. And this is when I was a young man, so I understand where I'm going with this. You shouldn't be watching porn if you haven't given a woman an orgasm. Because the porn industry is made for two things. One, to make money. Two, to keep you in a loop and thinking that women actually go for the shit that they see on porn. That you see on porn, I should say. So what is that about? You got men who are out of their polarity, young men being raised by women who have been compromised, fathers not being there, or, let me rephrase that, no masculine men in the space of the rearing of this child who ends up becoming an adult and ends up being what we like to call a fuck boy. But I'm going to give y'all a little bit of game real quick on this. Young men. I'm talking to the young men. My brother, I can hear them. I can see the text messages coming from my brothers now. My close friends now. I can see it once they see this video. The only reason I'm really bringing this up is because I had a young man come into my group, and the way he was talking was immature. That's one thing. Then he started getting offended by some of the people who were correcting him on the Zoom. Not like trying to be funny with him, but like, where is this going? Like he lost his mind in a moment. And I'm not saying just because somebody's older than you, you got to listen to your elders. Understand, respect is a two-way street. But nobody disrespected him. So once somebody said something that he didn't like, he went on this tangent about all this other stuff. And all I'm hearing is beta male, crybaby bullshit, entitlement, a bunch of nonsense. No principles whatsoever came out of his mouth. He didn't even know the definition of or the understanding of what a principle is. To be a principled man on purpose. If you don't know your purpose, that's one thing. If you were just out here just doing whatever, you're part of the problem. And everybody around you in your time coming up has enabled you that you can live this bullshit fantasy. Step into reality. It's time. Quit playing. There's too many things going on right now to where we got to backtrack to fix the shit that you ain't worked on yourself. I'm not even mad at him. That's the bad part. He's not the first young person I've came across with this attitude. And I'm not lumping all the young people into this group either. I understand what I'm saying. My younger brothers who are willing to listen to people who are giving them real game, giving them a dose of some wisdom and some knowledge. They've been through some things. First of all, I would never take advice from somebody who ain't been through nothing, much less pay for a course from somebody who ain't been through nothing. If they tell you that they've done everything right, do not spend money with them. As a business and life coach, I'm telling you that not only as a business and life coach, I'm telling you that as a friend and somebody who actually cares about humanity and gives a shit about you. If a motherfucker tells you that it's one way and this is the way it is and I'm always winning, I've never lost, I've never had any failures, no shortcomings, any of that bullshit, understand what the fuck that is. And excuse my language, Mom. Mom, I love you. I know I'm cussing right now. Somebody to say that I'm upset. No, I'm not upset. I'm passionate about this shit because when I mentor young, especially young boys and people who are actually young men who are stepping into what they're trying to move towards, which is more than likely their purpose or getting on task, getting on code. We got too many other issues going on to be worrying about trying to backtrack, like I said, to fix people. Broken people like broken people. Hurt people hurt people. But we have to fix it. This is just, it's a battle cry from my tribe to yours. The clan is thick. The Red Warrior clan, we are thick and deep. We are here to help. We're not here to hurt or hinder somebody from their own personal growth and development. But if you come to this situation and your personal issues and flaws, here's the thing. You could reach out to me privately. Now, here's the jacked up part about this whole situation. This is a paying client. Now, did I take his call personally on one of the sales calls? No, I did not. But one of my team did. So I had no understanding of who this young person was who was just talking. This is where it goes back to not all money is good money. This person is not ready for that. He might need to speak to some professionals. And the bad part about it is, I know some young people are going to see this and be like, are you just bashing on us? And I'm not. But we cannot continue down this road because guess what? As much as I hear young men bitching and complaining about women today, it's on the other side too. And I'm not talking to the women, I'm talking to the men. You know, a woman will lose respect for you if you compromise your principles. She will really lose respect for you. And once a woman has lost respect for you, your relationship, whatever it is, professional, intimate, it's done. It's done. We're not even talking about a woman being scorned. We're just talking about she's lost respect for you as a man. I saw something a couple days ago that just kind of stamped what I was going to talk about today. Young man and woman were at the gas station. They had a flat tire. I pull up. I go in the gas station. It's cold here in the Midwest. I mean, it was a little bit of ice and it just snowed like the day prior. The young lady was the one changing the tire. Now, they were a little younger. Say maybe mid-20s, maybe late 20s. You know what this young man was doing? He was sitting in the car. He was sitting in the car while this young lady was struggling to get the nuts off, so the tire to put on the spare. So when I came back out the store, I said she had a big old coat on, so I couldn't tell. She had one of those big puffy coats on, so I couldn't tell that this was a woman. Now, maybe she's one of those type of women who strong-willed. I don't even want to use the words that I want to use. Independent. I don't give a damn if you're independent. Ain't no grown man gonna be sitting in the car in my presence while a woman is changing the tire. That's basic shit. That's some of the basic shit. So I went over, put my little trinkets and things that I bought in the store, put them in the car, went over and helped her change the tire. You know, this little bastard had the audacity to get out of the car and say, "Hey man, what you doing?" And I looked him dead in the face and I told him, "I'm doing what you're supposed to be doing." This ain't about likes or anything like that. But understand, you have to have some principles. You got to have some principles. Young man, you just compromised your manhood for what? The comfort of the heat of the car? The reaction by the young lady was priceless when I said what I said to him. She knew what it was. So, love you all. You have to have some principles, young men. All men. Something. Something that's going to carry you through the moments when you're questioning yourself or you're doubting yourself. Something that's going to keep you going, keep you motivated, keep you inspired, because you have something that's solid, that's backing you up, and your thoughts aren't just diluted, and they're not crazy, and they're not dismissive. So that you can continue to carry on and progress, so that you can become a better person, much less a man. Love you all. Talk soon, my friends. This is Big Red Leads. Get it together.